Watch my back, bro.
Gets to celebrate with Dad.
They told him he couldn't win on ovals. They said he couldn't close. They said he was all hype, no hardware. But on a humid Sunday afternoon in Indianapolis, Bubba Wallace silenced the noise. And in doing so, just might have lit NASCAR's most controversial fuse in years. Let's not sugarcoat it. NASCAR didn't just witness another race at the Brickyard. It witnessed a statement loud enough to echo through the grandstands, through the garage, and through decades of racing history. Because this wasn't just any win. This was the Brickyard 400, one of NASCAR's crown jewel events, a race etched in prestige, glory, and legacy. And Bubba Wallace, he didn't sneak it. He took it. He fought off Kyle Larson, stared down a rain delay, survived 2 overtimes, and crossed the bricks first, leaving behind 32 furious drivers and a trail of shattered expectations. This wasn't luck. This was legacy making. And if you're still thinking this was a fluke, buckle up, because the real story isn't just about who won. It's about what this win means. Let's rewind. For years, Bubba Wallace has been NASCAR's most polarizing figure, not because he wanted it, but because the sport made him that. A black driver in a predominantly white, southern-rooted sport, carrying not just the weight of his team, but of a movement. Every race he enters, he's not just driving against the field, he's driving against perception, pressure, and prejudice. And let's be real, the critics have been relentless. Every misstep, blown up, every mistake, weaponized. When he wins, it's a fuel strategy. When he finishes second, he choked. When he speaks out, he's too political. But when he wins this race, this way, on this stage, suddenly the excuses run dry. What Bubba Wallace did at the Brickyard wasn't just a win, it was a reckoning. He went toe-to-toe with Kyle Larson, a champion and arguably the most talented pure racer in the Cup garage, and beat him straight up. No rain-shortened gimmicks, no pit gamble miracles, just raw pace, nerve, and execution. And here's where things get uncomfortable, because this win wasn't supposed to happen. Not here, not at Indy. This was supposed to be Larson's race, or Hamlin's, or Byron's, or someone safe. But instead, it was Wallace. And the sport isn't quite sure how to process that. You could feel it in the post-race interviews. The hesitation, the forced smiles. Sure, there were congratulations, but there was also something else. Frustration, confusion, maybe even fear, because the guy they wrote off just took their turf. He didn't just win a race, he took a legacy track on an oval and added his name to a list that includes Gordon, Johnson, Stewart, Earnhardt, and for a certain part of the NASCAR world. That's hard to swallow. Let's talk numbers. This was Wallace's 3rd career win, but by far his most significant. A win at Talladega in the rain? Cool. A win at Kansas with fuel strategy? Impressive. But a Brickyard 400 victory, head-to-head with the best? That's generational. And the way he did it? It was surgical. He led when it mattered. He managed tires under caution, stayed cool during the late restarts, and didn't blink when Larson lined up beside him in double overtime. This was Bubba Wallace at his peak. Calm, confident, cold-blooded. But it wasn't just what happened on the track. It's what it means off the track that has NASCAR buzzing. This win means Bubba Wallace is officially a playoff threat. It means he's cracked the code on ovals, the one area critics swore he'd never figure out. It means he's entering that terrifying category of drivers who don't just win, they belong. And here's the part no one wants to say out loud. The garage, it's watching. And some drivers, they're not happy, because Bubba Wallace isn't supposed to be here, not winning this race, not beating them. Let's be honest. For years, many treated Wallace like a marketing move, a diversity push, a PR win, not a real threat. But now, he's no longer a narrative. He's a nightmare. This win flips the script in more ways than one. Let's talk about the garage politics. There's always been this unspoken hierarchy in NASCAR, a pecking order. Bubba Wallace was never invited to the top of that food chain, but now he just carved his name into it with a sledgehammer, and the timing couldn't be more perfect or more dangerous. 23XI Racing has been knocking on the door for years. Co-owned by Denny Hamlin and NBA legend Michael Jordan, it was always seen as a flashy startup. Big names, big sponsors, but not quite ready to dance with the giants. But this win? This is the moment the underdog turned alpha. And let's not pretend the fan base isn't divided. Some are celebrating, calling it justice, calling it overdue. Others, they're seething. Social media lit up the second Wallace crossed the finish line. Rigged. Lucky. Political win. Same tired playbook. But here's the truth. The Brickyard doesn't care about your politics. It doesn't hand out participation trophies. You either win it or you don't. And on July 27th, Bubba Wallace won it. Cleanly, clearly, undeniably. Let's zoom out even further. What does this mean for the rest of the season? Well, it means chaos. It means the playoff picture just got a hell of a lot more interesting. It means a driver who was considered on the bubble is now dangerous, because Wallace doesn't just have momentum now, he has validation. He's proved to himself that he can run with the elite. And once a driver believes that, the rest of the field better watch out, because when Wallace is aggressive, he's a weapon. When he's confident, he's a problem. But now that he's a winner at Indy, he might just be unstoppable. So let's ask the real question. Is Bubba Wallace finally ready to be taken seriously as a title contender, or are we just seeing a hot streak that'll flame out in the playoffs? We've seen what he can do at superspeedways. We've seen flashes at intermediates. And now, we've seen it at a flat oval, on the biggest stage of the summer. If he puts it all together, the rest of the field won't just have to race him, they'll have to reckon with him. Look, love him or hate him, Bubba Wallace just changed the game. He didn't ask for your approval, he doesn't need your validation, he's not racing for critics, he's racing for wins. And now he has one of the biggest in the sport. So to everyone who said he'd never win a crown jewel, to everyone who said he was just a media story, to everyone who said he didn't belong, the Brickyard just sent a message. He does, he did, and he's only just getting started. So what do you think? Is this the beginning of Bubba Wallace's breakout era, or was this just a one-off shock to the system? Drop your takes in the comments, smash that like button, subscribe for more race-shaking breakdowns, and get ready, because whether you like it or not, Bubba Wallace just changed the trajectory of this season, and maybe the sport itself.